Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Now going to the left side, looks normal, and we do the egg counting. Good job. Now you can sit up and we can talk. All right. So Ty.
Imagine Brandi slipping into Ty's room to grab her phone charger and freezing at the sight of a positive pregnancy test lying on the nightstand. Whispers of betrayal erupted as she stared at the two stark lines, heart pounding with questions. Whose test was it, and why was it hidden? Fans are shocked that a simple discovery could send shockwaves through the entire friend group, turning allies into suspects overnight. Emotions ran high as Brandi confronted Ty, her voice trembling between anger and concern, while Ty's eyes flickered with a secret too dangerous to admit. Soon the villa buzzed with speculation. Was Ty keeping her own baby a secret, or was someone else using her room as a hiding place? Chantal's tears only deepened the mystery, and even Jackie found herself torn between loyalty and doubt. The family was left divided as theories spread like wildfires. Some blamed old rivalries. Others suspected a new romance gone too far. Now, every whispered conversation and stolen glance carries weight. Buckle up, because we're diving into every twist, every hidden motive, and every emotional breakdown to reveal whose future hung in the balance when Brandi found that test. Brandi's heart pounded the moment she stepped into Ty's room, hoping to retrieve her phone charger before the evening's group dinner. The door swung shut behind her, and for an instant, everything seemed ordinary. The soft glow of fairy lights, the faint hum of music down the hall, and Ty's neatly folded laundry on the chair. Then her eyes fell on the small white stick, peeking out from under a stack of books on the nightstand. Two stark lines glowed back at her. Fans are shocked at how quickly a simple discovery can ignite a powder keg of secrets. Brandi froze, fingers trembling as she lifted the pregnancy test into the light. She could almost feel its weight, the hidden promise or threat nestled in that tiny plastic casing. Emotions ran high as her mind flashed through possibilities. Was it Ty's? Or did someone else slip it there, using Ty's sanctuary as a hiding place? The air felt thick with tension. The walls, once a refuge, now whispered of betrayal. Every memory of laughter shared in this room turned to ash. The family was left divided before they even knew what was happening. In the hallway, the faint click of Brandi's heels broke the silence. She knew she shouldn't confront Ty too public. To rob at the secret test burned in her hand. She slipped into the living area where the cast gathered around couches and a roaring fire pit. Chantal glanced up from her phone, eyebrows knitting in concern when she saw Brandi's pale face. "What's wrong?" Chantal asked, voice gentle. Brandi held out the test. "I found this in Ty's room," she said, voice barely above a whisper. "Whose is it?" The question hung like smoke in the air. Ty looked up from her glass of iced tea, shock rippling across her features. Eyes darted between Brandi's trembling hand and the test itself. Chantal rose, bracing her palms on the back of a chair. "Brandi, put that away," Ty said, voice tight. But Brandi shook her head, tears stinging her eyes. "No, I need to know. Why is there a pregnancy test in your room, Ty?" Tasha and Jackie exchanged worried glances, torn between defending their friend and demanding the truth. Fans are shocked by the raw confrontation, and emotions ran high as each face revealed its own fear and curiosity. Ty's hands shook as she set her cup down. Moments stretched into an eternity before she spoke. It's not mine," she stammered, voice cracking. "I found it there too." Her eyes widened with panic. Chantal's lips curled into a frown. "Found it there? Means someone else hid it in your room?" Brandi's voice trembled with betrayal. The group leaned in, craving every detail. The family was left divided. Some believed Ty's denial, while others suspected a crafty scapegoat in their midst. Suddenly, an assistant burst into the room, clutching a tablet. "Exclusive paparazzi just posted this video," she panted. On the screen played footage of Evelyn sneaking into Ty's suite late at night, clutching a small bag. The video cut to Evelyn closing the door behind her and whispering something indistinct. Fans gasped as the video froze on Evelyn's worried face, eyes darting side to side. Chantal's hand flew to her mouth. "Evelyn," she whispered. "What are you doing with a bag in Ty's room?" Evaporated trust filled the fireplace's glow as Evelyn's confession leaked across screens. Brandi clenched the pregnancy test, heart pounding anew. "Evelyn, did you hide it there?" she demanded, voice sharp. Evelyn's face drained of color. She sank onto a nearby sofa. "I was scared," she murmured. "I didn't know who I could tell." Tasha approached her cautiously. "Tell us what?" she urged. Evelyn's shoulders shook. "I've been seeing someone new," she confessed, "and I didn't want the cast to know. I thought Ty's room was safe." The betrayal cut deep. The room erupted as Chantal slammed her hand on the armrest. "You used her suite as a vault," she accused, voice echoing. Ty's eyes shone with hurt and disbelief. "How could you?" she whispered. Evelyn's tears fell freely. "I was scared of what people would say," she sobbed. "I thought if I kept it hidden, I could decide when to tell everyone." Fans are shocked by the layers of secrecy, and emotions ran high as the truth unfurled like a black banner in the sunlight. Jackie moved between Evelyn and Ty, arms outstretched. "This had to come out," she said, voice pained. "But you chose betrayal over honesty." Evelyn flinched. "I know," she pleaded. "I'm sorry." Brandi stood back, tears tracing silent paths down her cheeks. "We all feel betrayed," Brandi said, "but we need to support each other now." The family felt the fracture between loyalty and betrayal tear wider. Yet a fragile thread of compassion still held them together. In the aftermath, the cast gathered in a circle on the terrace, the night air heavy with unspoken apologies. Chantal offered a hand to Ty. "Sorry this happened to you," she whispered. Ty accepted, voice soft. "I deserve the truth," she said. Evelyn knelt before Ty, hands clasped. "I promise to be honest from now on," she vowed. The promise hung like a fragile olive branch, offering a path forward even as wounds throbbed raw outside. Fans dissected every emotional moment on live stream, reacting in real time with emojis of shock and heartbreak. Hashtags like #betrayal in the villa and #whose baby trended within minutes, dividing loyalties across platforms. The family's divisions played out in comment sections, each viewer choosing sides in a drama that felt all too real. And as the group embraced under the moonlight, the weight of secrets pressed on their shoulders, but for the first time, they faced the storm together, ready to uncover every twist and name the true owner of that test. The villa felt hollow. The next morning, as if the walls themselves recoiled from the secret that had spilled under moonlight. Brandi sat on the edge of her bed, the pregnancy test folded neatly in a tissue beside her, as though even the paper needed to be contained. Ty joined her, voice gentle but exhausted. "Do you want to go through it again?" she asked, fingers brushing Brandi's arm. Brandi nodded, eyes rimmed red. "I need to hear it out loud, even though I already know." Ty took a deep breath. "I tucked it there," she admitted. "I panicked when I thought I was pregnant." Brandi's head snapped up, hurt flashing across her face. "It was yours and hid it," she whispered. Ty swallowed. "I wasn't ready for anyone to know, not even you." Fans watched every replayed clip with bated breath, hearts breaking at the raw vulnerability between friends in the communal kitchen. Chantal and Jackie brewed coffee, voices hushed beneath the hum of the espresso machine. "We have to help, Brandi," Chantal said, eyes clouded. Jackie nodded, pouring sugar into her mug. "And we have to figure out whose test it really is." Chantal frowned. "You don't think it belongs to Ty?" Jackie shook her head. Her panic was real, but it didn't add up. "She's been careful these past months. She wouldn't just pick a random test." Chantal frowned deeper. "So, who?" They exchanged a look heavy with suspicion. Nearby, a waiter passed by, invisibly bearing witness to their plotting. The first twist of the day coalesced. What if a third party had orchestrated the whole scene? Outside, under the shade of bougainvillea, Ryan confronted Evelyn. The air crackled with tension. "What were you doing there?" he demanded, voice low enough to spare prying ears. Evelyn's eyes dropped. "I was looking for you," she said softly, "to see if you were okay." Ryan's jaw clenched. "Don't lie. Saw you on that clip, hiding something." Evelyn winced, guilt twisting her features. "I hid it for you," she said. "I thought if I was pregnant, you'd leave." His breath caught. "You thought I'd abandon you over a baby?" Evelyn nodded, tears brimming. "I was terrified." The confession landed between them like shattering glass. Fans are shocked to see the couple's raw fear and misplaced loyalty. And emotions ran high as viewers felt Ryan's shock and Evelyn's desperation. Moments later, Brandi and Ty reassembled in the library, a single lamp casting long shadows. Ty rummaged through her toiletry bag, producing nothing but empty wrappers. Brandi leaned forward, voice firm. "I need to know you're telling the truth." Ty exhaled. "I swear, that was mine." Brandi eyed her friend's swollen belly, mind racing. "When did you find out?" Ty's hands trembled. "Last week." Brandi's knuckles whitened on the armrest. "Then why hide it from me?" Ty's reply was a whisper. "I thought I was alone." Brandi swallowed, torn between anger and compassion. "We can face it together," she said finally. Ty's relief was palpable, but their fragile alliance would face further cracks before morning light. Just then, a knock shook the heavy door. Ryan stood framed in the doorway, a manila envelope in hand. He entered without waiting, tension radiating from him. "I got something from a fan account," he said, voice frayed. "A clip of Spencer sneaking into my suite." Brandi's eyes widened in disbelief. "Spencer," she echoed. Ryan held up his phone, showing a shaky video. Spencer emerging from Brandi's room, glancing around before slipping in. Fans gasped at the twist. Spencer, the ever-watchful producer, now a suspect in this tangled mystery. "He wasn't there to check equipment," Ryan said. "He was looking for a test." Brandi sank back, mind reeling. "So the test in Ty's room could be his," she whispered. Ryan nodded, anger flaring. "He's covering his own tracks." Meanwhile, deep in the villa's basement lounge, Spencer wrestled with his conscience. He paced beneath exposed beams, replaying his clandestine visit. He had borrowed a test to confirm rumors that he might be a father from a past, fling rumors he never intended to reveal. His guilt was a crushing weight. When Nadia, the show's head writer, found him pacing under fluorescent lights, she confronted him. "We need answers," she said, arms folded. Spencer's voice cracked. "I went into Ty's room because no one else's door was unlocked." Nadia's eyes narrowed. "You're the producer, of course, everything is unlocked to you." Her words stabbed. Spencer bowed his head. "I thought I was doing the right thing," he murmured. "I was going to take responsibility." The betrayal ran deeper than manipulations or lies. It was an abuse of power disguised as dutiful concern. Back upstairs, Chantal and Jackie pieced together the emerging puzzle. Chantal tapped her finger on a stretch of timeline scribbled on paper. Spencer visits Brandi's room at dawn. Then, Ty's at dusk, she noted. Jackie leaned in. So he planted the test in Ty's suite when she snuck out. Chantal nodded. To cover his involvement with Brandi or me. He was terrified the cast might find out. Jackie shuddered. That's monstrous. They clasped hands, solidarity forging between them. "We have to expose him," Chantal said. Brandi, Ty, and Ryan waited in the courtyard, the first light of dawn brushing the palms. Jackie called out across the stones, "Everyone, gather here." The family once frayed would now stand united, set to confront Spencer with the truth. The confrontation crackled with emotion. Brandi stepped forward, test in hand. "This was from you," she accused, voice unwavering. Spencer's shoulders sagged. "Yes," he admitted, tears shining in his eyes. "I was a coward." Ty's gaze was icy. "You stole my agency." She said, "You used my fear to hide your secrets." Ryan glared across the circle. "You manipulated us all." Chantal's voice rang out. "We trusted you." Spencer dropped to one knee. "I'm sorry," he said simply. Silence stretched until finally Brandi offered a hand to help him up. "You'll have to earn back our trust," she said. Shaw stepped in to offer Spencer words of cautious forgiveness. The villa was silent as the sun climbed higher, each heart pounding with the ache of betrayal and the hope of redemption, as the cast dispersed to process the fallout. The pregnancy test lay on a marble ledge, a silent testament to sweeping deceptions and raw admissions. Fans would dissect every angle, every tear-streaked confession, and every shaky vow to change. The family's divisions would mend or splinter further under the glare of cameras. But that morning, united by a shared truth. They had taken the first step toward healing a wound carved by secrecy and suspicion. The villa woke the next morning to a fragile calm, as though the walls themselves were holding their breath after the storm of revelations. The courtyard lay bathed in pale light, lanterns still glowing softly. And the long table where confrontations had erupted stood empty save for a single discarded pregnancy test half hidden under a cushion. Ryan paced along the marble tiles, glancing at the test as though it might spring to life and accuse him of something new. Brandi joined him, wrapping a shawl around her shoulders. "We did what we had to," she said quietly, voice thick with weariness. "Now we need to rebuild." Ryan exhaled, the tension in his shoulders easing ever so slightly. "We'll start by cleaning up this mess," he replied, bending to pick up the test. Neither noticed Ty slipping out of her suite, eyes rimmed with exhaustion, yet alight with resolve. Inside the grand foyer, producers and crew gathered for an emergency debrief. Microphones were switched off, cameras powered down, but the buzz of urgent voices filled the air. "We need to address the pregnancy test footage," one producer hissed, slicing the hush. "Fans are already asking whose test it really was." Another nodded, fingers tapping on a tablet. "Let's plan a controlled release on exclusive interview segment." Yet somewhere in the back of the group, a junior assistant raised a timid hand. "What if we let the cast handle it themselves?" The raw emotion drove record engagement. The suggestion hung in the silence, daring the higher-ups to trust the very drama they'd engineered. After a long pause, the head writer sighed. "Fine. Let them speak honestly. But we retain editorial control." Onlookers exhaled, control regained. For now, meanwhile, Brandi led Ty to the secluded garden room, a circular space lined with plush couches and potted palms. Ty sank onto the softest seat, Brandi on the one opposite. Petals from a nearby orchid drifted in through the open doors. "You were terrified," Brandi began, voice gentle. Ty nodded, thumb tracing the seam of her jeans. "I thought I was losing everything I'd built," she admitted. "And finding that test in my room felt like proof I'd betrayed all of you." Brandi studied her friend's face. "You didn't," she said firmly. "Fear made you protect yourself, not hurt us." Ty's shoulders sagged with relief and shame. "Thank you," she whispered. "I needed to hear that." In that quiet moment, two friends forged a fragile new trust. One built on honesty rather than secrets. Upstairs, Spencer sat alone in the editing suite, head bowed over a console strewn with storyboards and scripts. The flashing lights of monitors reflected his regret. Every clandestine clip, every tear he'd witnessed in confessionals, now pressed on him like 1,000 weighty reminders. He reached for a notepad and scribbled. A single line: "Own my mistake, rebuild credibility." Then he deleted the clandestine footage from every drive he could access, hoping the gesture might at least ease the sting of betrayal. But digital ghosts had already spread the clips worldwide. No deletion could undo what had been seen. In the living room, Chantal and Jackie huddled with a laptop, scrolling through social media feeds. "Look at these comments," Chantal said, pointing at a flood of messages praising Brandi's strength and Ty's honesty. Others, however, attacked Evelyn for her secrecy and Spencer for his misuse of power. "We need to respond," Jackie insisted. Not with platitudes, but with real words. They drafted a joint post on apology for how the villa's trust had been broken, and a vow to share updates honestly from now on. Before hitting publish, Chantal paused. "We're not performing," she said. "This has to be genuine." They approved the post and watched as likes and supportive comments poured in. A small step toward healing the rift between cast and fans. Later that afternoon, Ryan and Brandi joined Evelyn by the pool's edge. The sun glinted off the water, casting dancing reflections on their faces. Evelyn's eyes flickered with remorse. "I'm sorry I added to this chaos," she said, voice steady but humble. Ryan nodded slowly. "We all made mistakes," he replied. "We're more than our worst moments." Brandi reached out, placing a hand on Evelyn's arm. "Let's agree to start fresh," she suggested. Evelyn closed her eyes, relief and gratitude mingling in her expression. "Yes," she whispered, "fresh." That evening, the cast reunited for a circle under the stars. Candles on low tables cast warm halos of light, the night breeze carrying the scent of jasmine. Each person shared a brief confession, regrets, fears, hopes for the future. Tasha spoke of lost trust, Ty of reclaimed courage, Chantal of leaning on friendship, Jackie of learning to ask questions with love, Spencer of acknowledging his misuse of power, and Brandi and Ryan of rediscovering empathy. As the final words faded, a hush enveloped the group. Fans watching live streams felt the weight of reconciliation as hearts healed one confession at a time. A few days later, cameras rolled in a newly built Truth Lounge, where the cast recorded an unscripted podcast episode. With no producers over their shoulders, voices carried genuine warmth and apology. They promised transparency about future secrets. None would be hidden again behind locked doors or vaulted in fear. The test itself was returned to its box and archived, a tangible reminder of the fallout that secrecy can sow. The villa's walls, once echoing with betrayal, now resonated with laughter and solidarity. As dawn broke on the season finales, live airing, the family assembled on the veranda. Hosts introduced them not as scripted personalities, but as people who had weathered a storm of lies and hurt. Moments of tension replayed alongside later scenes of unity, each beat tracing a journey, from suspicion to forgiveness. By the final commercial break, ratings soared, not for manufactured drama, but for authentic human emotion laid bare. Fans were shocked by how honesty, however late, could transform conflict into connection. And so, under the villa's gilded archways and beneath the endless sky, a fractured family found its way back to trust. The pregnancy test that had threatened to tear them apart became the catalyst for truth, proof that the bravest act in any drama, scripted or real, is to face your own fears and reveal your heart. As credits rolled and viewers logged off, one unifying thought carried them all home. Sometimes breaking silence is the first step toward healing. As the sun rose on the day after the live podcast, the villa was alive with a sense of cautious optimism. The events of the previous night, the circle of confessions under the stars, and the raw, unscripted podcast had aired to record viewership, and now each cast member grappled with the aftermath. Ryan and Brandi walked side by side to the breakfast table, the morning light filtering through glass doors. Brandi cradled a bowl of oatmeal, eyes distant yet calm. "I feel like we rebuilt a little piece of trust last night," she said quietly. Ryan nodded, swirling his coffee. "And it felt real, not forced." "That's something I never thought I'd say after all that betrayal." Fans are shocked at Ryan's capacity for forgiveness, and emotions ran high across social media as supporters praised Brandi and Ryan's unity in the face of scandal. Meanwhile, Evelyn lingered on the veranda, tracing the pattern of vines climbing the trellis. Her gaze was fixed on a single budding flower, a silent promise of growth amid upheaval. She turned as Tasha joined her, offering a gentle smile. "How are you feeling?" Tasha asked, voice warm. Evelyn breathed in the morning air. "Relieved and terrified," she admitted. "Relieved we face the mess, terrified of what comes next," Tasha nodded, stepping closer. "We'll figure it out together," she assured her friend. This simple. Solidarity strengthened Evelyn's resolve. Honesty had broken the silence. And now the real work of healing would begin. Inside the main house, producers convened a strategy session. The Truth Lounge episode had shattered ratings records, but with authenticity came risk. One producer tapped his pen on the table. "We need to capitalize on this raw momentum," he argued. "Our next move should be a live Q&A with the cast. No scripts, just them answering fan questions." Another shook her head. "We risk re-traumatizing them. They need space to process." A third voice chimed in. "What if we do a follow-up special in a month? Give them time, then show they're real." Journeys toward trust. The room fell silent as they weighed the ethics of turning personal healing into entertainment. Ultimately, they agreed. A follow-up special would balance authenticity with care for the casts. Well, Dash being back at the breakfast nook. Ty sipped green tea, her thoughts still tangled from the previous days. The pregnancy test, once a symbol of fear, had been safely locked away, but its presence lingered like an echo. Jackie plopped down next to her, bright fruit bowl in hand. "You were incredible last night," Jackie praised. Ty's lips curved into a small smile. "I was honest," she said. "It was scary, but freeing." Jackie nodded, spoon poised. "Now everyone knows how brave you are." Ty looked out at the pool, sunlight dancing on the water. "I just wish it hadn't taken a test to get me that freedom. I should have trusted you all sooner." Jackie reached across the table, squeezing Ty's hand in solidarity. In the villa's garden, Spencer paced among potted palms, replaying his apology and its reception. He caught sight of Chantal approaching, notebook in hand. She offered a tentative wave. "Mind if I sit?" she asked. Spencer motioned to a stone bench. "I've been thinking a lot about responsibility," he began. "Last night's confession was the first step, but I want to do more than confess. I want to make amends." Chantal nodded thoughtfully. "Actions speak louder," she said. "Help us create a real support system, a space where any of us can share without fear of scandal." Spencer's eyes shone with determination. "Let's build that." Their collaboration promised a future where transparency would be nurtured, not exploited. As noon approached, the cast gathered for an informal rehearsal of the follow-up special. A single camera rolled as the host posed a question. "What is one promise you're making to the group and to yourself?" Brandi spoke first, her voice steady. "I promise to practice patience and to forgive when I can." Ryan followed. "I promise to listen before I judge." Ty's confession was simple and heartfelt. "I promise to speak my truth the moment I know it." Evelyn, voice quivering with emotion, added, "I promise to never let fear hold my secrets hostage." Again, Jackie promised vigilance. "I won't ignore signs of pain in my friends." Spencer's vow rang with sincerity. "I promise to respect boundaries and to support truth, not manipulate it." The act of voicing these promises created a palpable shift, united by commitment, rather than divided by secrets. In the villas media room, the finale aired, intercutting last night's confessions with behind-the-scenes moments of laughter and tenderness. Viewers saw the cast hugging in the moonlight, wiping tears and offering genuine support. The montage culminated in a shot of the breakfast table, where everyone laughed over a spilled orange juice, an ordinary moment of normalcy after extraordinary drama. Fans choked back tears as the credits rolled. The hashtag truth brought us together, trending worldwide. Emotions ran high as audiences celebrated the power of honesty to heal wounds and reinforce bonds. Later, special text notification alerted the cast to live fan questions pouring into the network's app. With cameras rolling, they answered. Queries ranging from, "Did you ever doubt each other again?" to, "Will you remain friends after the show?" Their responses were candid. Ty reassured fans that she and Brandi had mended their bond. Spencer acknowledged that earning forgiveness would take time. Ryan and Brandi confirmed their relationship was stronger than ever. Jackie admitted she had learned to ask questions. Chantel revealed she felt more at peace. Evelyn thanked viewers for their patience and understanding. The episode ended with collective words of gratitude, each thank you resonating with sincerity. As night fell, the villa's guests dispersed for a final banquet under twinkling lights. The table felt different now, no secrets tucked away. No tests hidden, only open conversation. Plates of heirloom salad and roasted vegetables were passed around, laughter punctuating each bite. Chantal raised her glass. "To truth, however hard," she toasted. Others tapped their glasses in agreement, eyes shining. The family had weathered betrayal, fear, and deception, and now celebrated the unity forged through hardship. Fans watching live clinked their screens, hearts united in the affirmation that authenticity, once almost lost, had been reclaimed. And so, in the soft glow of lanterns and under a sky full of stars, the final chapter of this saga played out not in whispered rumors or shocking surprises, but in the quiet power of promises kept and trust rebuilt. The pregnancy test that started it all lay hidden in an archived box. A silent reminder that fear and secrecy can fracture even the closest of bonds, but that honesty, courage, and forgiveness can bring them back together, stronger than ever. And, just like that, a hidden test upended friendships, exposed fears, and raised more questions than answers. Fans are shocked that a single stick could unravel months of trust, tear apart loyalties, and leave everyone scrambling for the truth. Emotions ran high as Brandi, Ty, Ryan, and the rest of the cast confronted betrayal, fear, and the desperate need to protect each other. The family was left divided. Some wondered if Ty's panic was justified. Others blamed Spencer's power play. And many asked whether Evelyn's secrecy was ever acceptable. Now the biggest mysteries remain. Whose test was it in Ty's room? And what led them to hide it so carefully? Will the real owner step forward and explain the choices that brought them here? Can the bonds broken by suspicion ever heal? Or will whispers of deceit linger long after the cameras stop rolling? And what happens to the friendships that have weathered so much? Will they emerge stronger or splinter for good? If you followed every twist and turn, we want to hear from you. Whose side are you on? Team Ty? Team Brandi? Or do you think Spencer's confession finally cleared the air? Do you believe the pregnancy test reveal was a cry for help or a plot to manipulate? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know how you think the saga will end. Did someone deserve a second chance, or are some secrets too big to forgive? If this breakdown had you on the edge of your seat, smash that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into reality TV's wildest moments. Ring the bell so you never miss a shocking update. And keep the conversation going. Your voice could be the key to unlocking the next jaw-dropping twist.